What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my favorite series on the channel. I spent $1,000 to determine who the NBA GOAT is, right? So today we are going to be covering free agency, and we're going to at least get to the NBA Cup of the first season, right? So we may even get all the way to playoffs. It'll depend. I kind of want to look around the league, see if there's any key matchups and stuff like that. If there's any trade deadline moves, stuff like that. So depending on how long that takes, and if we end up hopping into any NBA Cup games, anything like that, may cut it off at the NBA Cup, may cut it off at the trade deadline, may cut it off at the end of the season. But appreciate you guys coming through, and let's go ahead and get right on into it. Okay, so we are officially here in the free agency, right? This is where people move. This is where, some deals get done, stuff like that. I just want to emphasize we are not making any deals for any teams. This is strictly just viewing how teams see their needs and they decide to sign guys. So Harden already has an offer. Let's see what he's got. Pretty good offer to come back to the Cavs. Austin Reeves has a couple of offers. Some good offers from the Clippers and Nets, so it looks like he is on the move. Trae Young has an offer from the Wizards. Jalen Duren has a handful. Look at the Bulls doing something, guys. You see this? Love to see it. And so on and so forth. So we are going to go ahead and sim these moratorium days. We'll sim the first 3 days, and then we'll come on back and we will see if anybody signed, if anybody changed places, and then we'll get right into it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, so we have gone through our first 3 days here, the moratorium days. As you guys can see, James Harden is no longer here, but Austin Reeves still is. So let's go ahead and let's go to who is signed. Let's see what we got. Harden went back to Cleveland. Trae Young remains in Washington. The Pistons kept Jalen Duren. I'm glad to see that because for almost the entire year, Jalen Duren has just walked every single time. Norman Powell stayed. Porzingis stayed. Vooch stayed. Walker Kessler stayed. Okay. So I'm not really seeing anybody leave. Kevin Porter Jr. left. Kevin Porter Jr. has now left. Yusuf Nurkic has left. But other than that, Colin Gillespie now joins the billion point guards in Brooklyn. Tari Eason stayed. That's another one I'm surprised by because he tends to leave. John Collins is now going to be paired with Victor Wembanyama. Lou Dort stayed on a pretty team-friendly deal. Actually, that's not bad. Marvin Bagley now backs up Porzingis in Golden State, and so on and so forth. We're not going to get super deep into the weeds. We are going to go ahead and stay with where we're at. Austin Reeves has a couple of offers. Anything changed? The Bulls are coming into play here. Okay. I do want to also point out the Bulls have 4 point guards and not a single shooting guard, by the way. DeAndre Ayton is still getting offers despite his season. The Bucks. Wow. Okay. The Lakers. Of course, the Bulls offered. How are we not surprised? Let's go ahead and go a couple of days here. Let's go until Austin Reeves. Okay, Austin Reeves is now gone. So what do we got here? Austin Reeves stayed with the Lakers. Wow, okay. So it doesn't look like any of the bigger names. Granted, I know there wasn't any mega stars here. DeAndre Ayton is now the backup for Miles Turner. That's interesting. But yeah, other than that, it looks like for the most part, guys stayed. Jaden Ivey's now in Memphis. The Bulls decided not to pick up his offer sheet. Good for them, I guess. Jock Landale's now with the Orlando Magic. But yeah, looks like we got a handful of, it seems like a lot more of the role guys moved around. HB's in Cleveland. I like that for Cleveland. Ben Simmons is still in the league here. Jalen Wells left. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of the role player guys have left. But we are going to go ahead. We're going to sim to the end of free agency, and we will sim all the way up to the start of the season, and then we are going to go around the NBA and show you guys what rosters look like as of right now. And we'll get started on this rookie season. Here we go. Okay, guys. So we are here at the start of the season. I'm going to give you guys a quick, we're not going to go super in-depth on every team, but I just kind of want to give you a quick glance at the top handful of guys for each team. And we'll kind of see exactly what some of these rookies look like as far as having rosters. And then we will get right into it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So we've got the Sixers. Look pretty regular, not a whole lot of big moves here. You got Zaire Williams is interesting, but no big upgrades for them. The Bucks now have Matisse B. They have Giannis. They also have good old Ryan Rollins still. You got Ayton, you got Turner. So I wonder if they will end up playing any of them at some weird spots. Not a whole lot of guards on this team. They do have Kingston Flemings, which is interesting. But other than that, not really a whole lot of guards. The Bulls, as I complained about them not having a shooting guard, they went and signed Cam Thomas. Good news is, especially for these top two, he'll take all the shots, so it won't really matter because Giddey's not really going to shoot a whole lot and Tony Allen's not going to shoot a whole lot. The Cavs made some solid additions. They got Mitchell Robinson, who's been a thorn in their side for a while now, so that's good to see out of them. Other than that, it is minimal pickups there. The Celtics, it looks like Tatum will be back from his injury. I know in real life he's coming back here soon, but I let 2K go ahead and play out however long it determined for the Achilles, so it looks like he will be back here in a month or two. We have, other than that though, Walton Clayton Jr.'s here, but it seems like their team is the same for the most part. You got the young guys here. Ooh, I do like having Daron Sharp, and they have Isaiah Jackson. So they have three centers that are all about the same age, all about the same overall, so we'll see how their minutes get allocated. AK is the best player on Memphis with Ja Morant, Zach Edey. This lineup fills out pretty nice, minus the Jaden Ivey, Ty Jerome. It'll be a good backcourt off the bench. So the guard depth here is pretty good. And you'll have Santi Aldama playing probably the starting four on this roster here in Atlanta. So Double O beats himself out for the starting spot. And then you have the normal guys here. So it looks like it'll be a pretty regular lineup for them with CJ McCollum and Quentin Grimes off the bench. So not a lot of defense being played out of their backcourt on the bench, but a lot of defense being played out of that starting lineup. The Miami Heat have almost a perfectly normal lineup with Caleb Wilson. I think he'll slot in pretty well. I believe Andrew Wiggins is on the last year of his deal, so if Wiggins walks in free agency, they do have a power forward of the future next to Bam. It does make it a little interesting because of Khalil Ware being here. Maybe Caleb Wilson will slide up a spot to play small forward and take some of Norton Powell's minutes. But other than that, that'll be interesting to see. Charlotte here with Darren Peterson. Wow, okay, so they are extremely guard heavy. Not a lot in the power forward situation, but they did pick up Rui Hachimura, which should help a little bit with just their general size. And then they took another guard in the draft in Darius Acuff. That is really unfortunate. The Utah Jazz. So they have a very solid 1-2 punch here in Sean Livingston and Keontae George, Lauri Markkanen, Jaren, and Kessler. So I would not be surprised. Hopefully they put one of these two at shooting guard, and then Ace Bailey is coming off the bench. But I could also see a world, unfortunately, where Keontae George is playing off the bench in like a super sixth-man role. Other than that, it looks like it's pretty much the exact same lineup, except for they now randomly have Jonathan Kuminga. The Sacramento Kings. Allen Iverson, a.k.a. The Answer, is at the 1. You've got Sabonis, who is currently out with a sore right knee for a little bit. DeAndre Hunter is out with a poked in the eye for 2 to 4 months. That's unfortunate. They don't really have a guy of the future here other than The Answer. Nick Clifford, we'll see how that goes. I don't know how his development's going to end up being. And then obviously Keegan Murray, I think, is kind of just at where he's at, right? The New York Knicks picked up Jay Huff since they lost Mitchell Robinson in the offseason. But other than that, I think this team looks pretty much like themselves. A couple of bench guys are new, but other than that, it looks like it's pretty much the same team here. You've got Luka, you've got Austin Reeves, Anthony Simons signed here. So this team is just officially all no defense. Robert Williams is going to have a lot of work cut out for him, but I do like that pairing with Luka, getting him a true lob threat. I don't really know who's going to play your power forward now that, I guess it's going to be Jared Vanderbilt, now that Rui Hachimura is gone. But other than that, they didn't really make a whole lot of big splashy moves here in Los Angeles. The Orlando Magic are going to have pretty much the exact same roster here, other than they did get Jock Landale, which is interesting. Russell Westbrook, good. So Russell Westbrook's going to provide plenty of court spacing for a team that really, really lacked the ability to space the floor and shoot some threes. Next, we have the Dallas Mavericks, and potentially one of my favorite 1 through 3s here. You've got T-Mac, Cooper, and then you'll have Kyrie back at about the midway point of the season. Max Christie and Kobe White off the bench is a really good 1-2 punch. So to start the year, Kobe White will be with these two. I like that pairing because they can make up for Kobe White's defense. And then you will also have Gafford and Lively, and then the wings that they normally have. So PJ Washington will start, and then you'll have Clay off the bench. And other than that, it's pretty much the same lineup, minus, adding Kobe White and then taking T-Mac in the draft. The Brooklyn Nets have Big Z, MPJ, Yegor Demon. They now have Colin Gillespie starting. I don't really know. I guess either Noah Clowney or Danny Wolf is going to be their starting power forward. A little bit to be desired as far as just a defensive guy. But other than that, I think they're a little light on wings, but we'll see how it goes for them. The Denver Nuggets, Peyton Watson progresses a little bit, so he will now be starting over, looks like, Cam Johnson. But other than that, this team is pretty much the exact same, minus Braylon Mullins right there, the rookie. Giddy will be paired with, I really like this team. I think this team is going to play with a lot of pace. I hope 2K does it right as far as really emphasizing just the general pace they're going to play with, right? Because Giddy is going to play with pace. He has good playmaking. He has good vision, passing stats, all of that. Siakam plays with pace. Obviously, you have Halliburton, who he's back in 2 to 4 months. That'll play with pace. And then you have Zubac, Nemhard. Other than that, though, this team looks pretty much, they grabbed Zach Collins, but other than that, they look pretty much the same. You have Zion, you have Trey Murphy, Jeremiah Fears. So this team, again, is, they did grab Jalen Wells. That's right, I forgot. The big addition of Jalen Wells. So he will be starting at their small forward over Herb Jones. So unfortunately, Herb Jones moves to the bench. But other than that, they got like Jaden Hardy, but not really many moves for a team that I really was hoping would trade Zion in the offseason. You have Cade Cunningham here with the Detroit Pistons. This team, again, looks like another team that just kind of ran it back. Almost down to the full roster, I'm not going to lie to you. Now, here in Toronto, this team they added use of Nurkic, who will be back in 2 to 4 months. A lot of broken noses out here, folks. Everybody wear your masks, I guess, because this is just unbelievable, the amount of just broken noses we have. Keaton is here with the Raptors. That's really the only new additions they have. Now we are over on the Houston Rockets. Let's see here. Clint Capella still here. DeAnthony Melton, that's a good guy for them. Gary Trent's another good guy for them. As far as just having some guys that can shoot, play defense. More so shoot in Gary Trent's case, and more so play defense in Melton's case. Adams is still here. But yeah, other than that team is pretty much the same. The San Antonio Spurs, your reigning NBA champions here. Let's see what they decided to do this offseason. Do they just run it back? They grabbed John Collins. So that is technically an upgrade in their starting lineup. And then you have, Kelvin Johnson. Carter Bryant got a little bit better, not much, but he does already have another guy in the wings waiting to take his spot. That is really unfortunate. A lot of power forwards on this team, I'm noticing, too. Cameron Carr is here. Just a really young roster. Didn't make any splashy moves, no big moves out of them. Kind of surprised. The Phoenix Suns, led by Devin Booker. You get Kevin Porter Jr., so that will be your starting point guard because you lost Colin Gillespie. So playmaking will down a little bit, but just pure shot making out of this group is going to be pretty well. Ryan Dunn is your starter still. Aaron Wiggins is a good steal for them on a pretty cheap deal. I don't know why the Thunder just kind of cut him, it looks like. Fleming's here. But yeah, other than that, the true wing spots and the backup point guard do look a little light for the Phoenix Suns if they want to make any sort of run. Now, the heavy favorites, I would believe, the OKC Thunder. You have SGA, you have Andre Roberson, Chet, J-Dub. So hopefully maybe he ends up playing there too. And then you have iHeart, you have AJ Mitchell off the bench. Bobby Portis comes in off the bench. Cason Wallace. So Cason Wallace may end up getting the start over. I'll have to tweak some of their positions because it doesn't make sense for them to play J-Dub off the bench. So we'll have to see. Maybe iHeart comes off the bench. Maybe that's how they do it. And Chet moves to full-time 5. We'll kind of see how that goes. We'll talk about that a little bit and get that updated for him. All right, now the Minnesota Timberwolves here. they make any big splashy moves. Baron J jumps up. This is a very thin roster, is the way I'm going to put it, right? You've got the top, what is that, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that are above an 80, and then after that you go straight to Baron J. A lot of young guys down here on the bench. They took the other Boozer brother. Okay, interesting. But yeah, that's not a great roster, especially out west. I think they're going to have a downfall of a year. The Portland Trailblazers here get Scoot Henderson. Too many cameras. They took Cameron Boozer. Okay, so that's interesting. It's a shame he's going to start off the bench. I don't think he'll be there very long. Then you have Colin Sexton. You still have Drew Holiday. Jeremy Grant. So a lot of guys here. Dame is back in 2 to 4 months, so that adds another guy to the rotation. Caleb Love is here. You have the Golden State Warriors, who added Marvin Bagley, which is interesting. Other than that, again, not a lot of additions here in Golden State. Jimmy Butler's out 2 to 4 months still. You got Draymond here, who's regressing really bad. Horford's regressing bad. Quentin Post, it says, is on a 2-way. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, other than that, this is not a good roster at all. Poor Steph. Steph has 2 other teammates above an 80. That's poor Steph. All right, our final team here. The Washington Wizards. Jimmy G Buckets, Anthony Davis, Trae Young, Alex Sarr. Then I believe he's going to come off the bench, so it'll be Keyshawn George at your 3. This team right now, I think, might be, pending injury, my favorite team to come out of the East. I know that's a really bold statement to say. I think it's them, and I think it's OKC. That is my preseason predictions. Let me know your preseason predictions down below, and let's get into it. Okay, guys, we are about officially 1 month into the season here. As you can tell, teams have anywhere from like 15 to 17 games played. Let's go ahead. We are going to check in on the rookie report here and kind of get our leaders. So we've got in minutes, Matas is the current minutes leader, followed by Giddey and Tony Allen, as well as T-Mac. Points-wise, you have Giddey at 28.5. T-Mac is at 27. Big Z out here carving a path for himself at 26. Matas next to Giannis. So Giannis finally gets his duo. That's a hell of a wing duo right there. I'm not going to lie to you. The answer is trying to put some stuff together in Sacramento. You have Double O, who is at 25 points. Jimmy G Buckets, who's on one of hopefully the better teams in the league. And then you have Sean Livingston. Rebounds-wise, Big Z obviously as the 7'4" guy, as the tallest guy in this class, you would hope would be leading us in rebounds, followed by Double O, highest rebound in this class, so you would hope he would be here. Matas, not surprised, 6'10", decent enough rebounding. AK, just helping on all ends of the floor, contributing wherever he can. And then you have Andre Roberson. Assist-wise, we have 2 guys over 10 assists, so we have Sean Livingston over there in that fast-paced Utah Jazz offense at almost 11 assists a game. Giddey filling that Tyrese role really nice right now, has almost 10.5. We'll see what his role looks like when Tyrese is back on the floor. Then you have Big Z at almost 10, Matas at almost 10, the answer at 9, AK's at 9, even Tony Allen's almost at 9. Look at that. It looks like it's all just, took till 12, which is, the first non-one of our guys to actually get the assist. So it's glad to see everybody sharing that rock, not being selfish. Steals leader, to nobody's surprise, it is AK, folks. He could potentially be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. We will have to see as the season goes on. But as of right now, he's at almost 3 steals a game. You have Tony Allen, Mr. 99.99 at 2.6. Giddey, shockingly enough, maybe it's just the pace they're playing with. And then you have a couple of guys over here at 2. Even Sean Livingston's getting in on it. And then we have a couple of the actual rookies. So Cameron Boozer, T-Mac. Let's see here. The answer's down here. Double O's down here. I would assume it's because he's a center and he's playing a little bit further back. And he's not playing up in the pick and roll because, another name we also don't see here is Big Z. But that is because he doesn't have any interceptor. So I don't really know exactly how he's going to get through it. But blocks-wise, we have Double O at 3 blocks a game. Love to see that out of him. AK, just, top in steals, top 2 in blocks. Love to see that out of him. Modest, again, making another Defensive Player of the Year case here. We have the 2.5. You've got Giddey, Roberson. Big Z is up here for as slow as he is. He's at almost 2 blocks a game, which is good to see. And so is Sean Livingston. We're going to skip the negative stats. We're here for positive only. Then we're going to scroll over so you guys can see a little better. Field goal percentage. Who is... Okay, well, obviously we're going to have, the guys that don't play a lot. The answer's at almost 61% on 16 attempts, by the way. Keep that in mind. We have Big Z on 17 attempts at 56. We have Matas at 54% on 19 attempts a game. I'm not going to round that one up for him. So he's probably the highest volume guy up here. Let's take a look at our top guys in three-point percentage here. Big Z, shockingly, because he's just open every play, right? Because he's 7'4", at almost 52%, guys. We have AK at just under 48%. We have The Answer, who is off the dribble, shooting 46%. T-Mac shooting 46%. And then we have Giddey at 43%. All these guys are on decent volume. I wouldn't say it's necessarily chucking volume, right? We've got him at almost 7 attempts. He's at 8 attempts. He's at 7 attempts, 9.7, basically 10 attempts. He's at 11.5 attempts a game. He's at 10 attempts a game. Even Double O is shooting 12 attempts a game. Like, these guys are chucking, and they're doing pretty good. So that is our rookie report a month in. I will catch you guys at the trade deadline. We'll go over this. We'll go over standings. We'll kind of see where everybody's at. Okay, guys, we are officially back. We are now at the trade deadline officially. So about 2/3 of the way through the season. We are first going to go through the standings, let you guys know what the play-in race is looking like, who is the top seeds out in each division. And then we will again go through the stats to kind of see where guys are at this point, and check, like all-star teams and stuff like that. And then we will go from there. So we are going to go first to NBA standings here. So the Atlanta Hawks are 37-15. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers, who don't have any of our guys on there. The Bucks, Giannis finally gets some help, and he is again the top 3 seed in the East. The Brooklyn Nets, led by Mr. 7'4" himself, have officially hit seed 4. The Raptors, who I don't believe had any of our guys, are now the 5th seed. Charlotte Hornets, with their high-powered offense, are the 6th seed. You have Orlando Magic as the first play-in team. The Wizards, never mind. I'll never bet on the Wizards again, guys. That's my fault. I should have known better. It was the Wizards after all. That's entirely my fault. That's entirely my fault. I'll admit fault. You guys can put the L in the comments. That's entirely on me. I should have known the Wizards would be here. The Heat are now 9th, and then the Detroit Pistons. Wow, the first seed last year has officially fallen all the way down, with pretty much the same lineup here, all the way down to the 10th seed. The Pacers, I guess Halliburton was just gone too long for them. They've won 2 in a row, but I guess I don't really know who's supposed to be playing their. I guess Pascal's playing center for them right now. Maybe that's why they're losing games. But yeah, I really thought this team would be a lot better than the 11th seed. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The Bulls, of course, tanking correctly for once. The New York Knicks are down here, surprisingly enough, with their normal roster. The Celtics, I guess Tatum again came back too late, maybe. They are a selling team, apparently, as of right now, with Big Vooch. They are the 14th seed. And then you have the Philadelphia 76ers. With their normal lineup, they have lost 2 in a row. They are officially a selling team and are the bottom of the East. As for the West, we are going to go up here. So the Dallas Mavericks, shocker to nobody, Cooper Flagg is really good in simulation if you guys play these leagues. And then also to have him paired up with T-Mac and to have Kyrie Irving back now. They are a contender, apparently, according to them. The Phoenix Suns, with Kevin Porter Jr. as your starting point guard, are the 2 seed out west. And it says they're rebuilding, which is interesting. The Spurs, who I thought would be a powerhouse still, with John Collins here, they are officially the 3 seed. You've got OKC, who's fallen down a little bit. They apparently are playing Andre Roberson off the bench, which is interesting. So I'm curious to see how that goes. They are tied with the T-Wolves, who did not make any upgrades. This team has Jalen Hood-Schifino starting at shooting guard for them. Oh, because Ant's hurt. That's why I was like, how on earth did you guys get here? But no, that makes a little more sense. The Houston Rockets with Gary Trent in the starting lineup are not doing well. Robert Williams is now here. He was on the Lakers. I remember that at one point. The Clippers are a little bit above 500. Garland looks like he's out for the moment. So we'll see how that team ends up doing. The Warriors just clinging on to barely above 500. Have Jimmy Butler back. They have lost 2 in a row. This team is going next to nowhere. The Memphis Grizzlies with AK are the 9th seed here, with Jaden Ivey starting at the 2, so we'll see how that goes. Cedric Howard takes a back seat. The Pelicans are just above 500. They now, some reason, have OG Anunoby. How on earth did that happen? We're going to have to go through that. The Denver Nuggets here are below 500, surprisingly enough, with Nikola Jokic. Wow, this team is buying because they're just trying to scrap into a play-in spot. They're 3 losses back as of right now. The Lakers fell off a cliff. Oh my, what is this roster? What happened to Luka's roster right now? What is going on? It is Luka and nobody. And I mean that disrespectfully. What happened? Portland's down here, so unfortunately Portland regresses a little with their too many guards. They don't really know exactly what to do. They're kind of rebuilding though. You know, Cam Boozer is here. They have Colin Sexton now. Like, what is going on? The Sacramento Kings are still down here. The answer is trying to backpack them to some wins. Clearly not going very well as Zach LaVine is coming off the bench and DeMar DeRozan. Wow. I don't understand this rotation at all, but okay. And the Utah Jazz are still the bottom of the West, folks, with Sean Livingston. He unfortunately cannot carry them. You do have Keontae George playing some high bench minutes for them. We'll see how that goes. But that is your official standings. Let's get into... So the first thing I want to do is I want to check the transaction report. We are going to go to just trades. So there have been 4 trades since the start of the season. We have AJ Green for Royce O'Neal. So the Bucks got another wing. The Suns got more shooting, I guess. Just, straight offense, no defense. The Lakers and Rockets traded. So Time Lord and Vanderbilt went to the Rockets for Fred VanVleet. Why you would do that as the Lakers? Because you just gave up your starting center and power forward for Fred VanVleet, who's not going to play for you because he's behind Luka and Austin Reeves. Don't know that. Now, we go up to the end of January here. Jonathan Isaac and a second for, it looks like just some second swaps and for the Magic to take it off some money. And the big one here. So the Knicks gave up picks in order to get Jordan Poole for OG Anunoby. I don't quite know about that one. I have questions. I feel like the Pelicans definitely won this trade. But yeah, that is our... So that's, I guess, why OG Anunoby's there. We are now going to go to... I want to go to season stats here, rookie report. So now that we are 2/3 of the way through the season, who is the... So it's still Giddey. You have T-Mac, Double O has climbed up here. Big C's up here. You have, looks like it's all of our guys for the most part here, besides Andre Roberson, because he's getting less minutes because he is now off the bench. He's still actually one of the more heavy minutes guys here. I'm surprised Tony Allen's getting buckets. I'm curious how Tony Allen's getting his buckets. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The rebounders. So top rebounders here, we have Big Z at almost 13 rebounds a game. Double O's at 12. You have Matas. Surprisingly, even though he is down there with, Giannis. Miles Turner, I guess, is not really a big rebounder, but you do have Ayton down there who gets a decent amount of rebounds. You have AK at almost 10, just under 10. Andre Roberson's at 8.5, so he's getting his fair share of rebounds over there in OKC. T-Max at 8. A fellow teammate of his is at 7.5. And then we start to lose some of our guys. Giddey's down here at 6. And then we start to get into some of the actual rookies. We have 5 for Livingston. Let's go into the assists. So Livingston leads the entire rookie class in assists, followed by Big Z, which is kind of surprising. Big Z, if you guys look, is averaging a triple-double as of right now, so I'm assuming he is the Rookie of the Year front runner. Giddy actually fell down, so like I had told you guys when we had previously talked here, before Halliburton came back, he was at, I think, like 12 or 13. He's now down to about 10. Iverson, surprisingly, with the roster around him, is at 9. Poor him. Tony Allen's over 8.5. Stunned. Modest, maybe he's running some pick and rolls with Giannis or vice versa, at almost 9. Double O's at almost 9. AK, you got T-Mac. Andre Roberson's even facilitating with his lack of pass act. You have Jimmy G Buckets down here. So a lot of our guys there. Let's see, steals-wise. This is what matters to me. So nobody's over 3 steals a game, unfortunately. But Mr. 9999 is now at the leader here at 2.8, followed by AK at 2.6. This makes, for the most part, sense, minus him, because he has double 99. So the fact he's not up here with Tony Allen, a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie. We have double O is finally up here. Okay. Livingston's up here. You got Cameron Boozer. Who's the most disappointing of our guys? Big Z. I don't really expect a lot of steals out of him at just over 1 steal a game. At almost 3 blocks a game, double O at 2.8. I would assume he's one of the front runners for DPOY, right? He's at 2.6 on both. The fact that he's averaging that while averaging this, like, come on. He's got to be up there for DPOY, right? We've got Modest at 2.4. A couple of guys. We have 6 guys over 2 steals a game. That's actually really good to see. Who's our... I would assume it is... Yeah, he's going to be way down there. All right. I'm not going to disappoint our guy like that. He's past 25. We're gonna leave Big Z alone. I'm not going to bully him on this one. We will now go field goal percentage here. Again, it's going to be littered with a bunch of guys that don't take a lot of shots. The answer, surprisingly enough, being the most efficient guy out here. I'm stunned. I don't know how he's ecstatic right now. His team is horrible. But he is the leader out of our guys, followed by Big Z. We'd like to see that number higher, but he is shooting a decent amount of threes, so that would be why he is at the spot he's at. Let's go ahead and sort by field goal attempts here. So Giddy, surprisingly enough, is averaging 20 attempts. You got double O at 18 attempts. T-Mac is at 18 attempts. A lot of guys that are just, over a lot of attempts here. Even Andre Roberson's at 14 attempts a game is crazy to me. Let's look at 3-point attempts because I want to see who's really jacking them threes. You got Giddy. So Giddy is averaging 20 attempts. 11 of them are threes. You have double O at 18 attempts. Almost 11 of them are threes. T-Mac's at about half. Jimmy G Bucket's a little over half. Okay. He's a little under half. I like to see that out of him. He's at about half. He's in a decent amount. That's not bad. That's under a third. I don't hate that for him. But okay. Other than that, I think we're doing pretty good here. I don't like that he's averaging as many threes as he is. He's averaging 5.2 a game. He's shooting well, though. That's what matters on 17 shots. But that is going to be your trade deadline check-in. So we've covered all the way up and through this point. Next, we are going to... next episode will be the end of the regular season. So we will get Rookie of the Year. We will get all NBA teams if our guys make any of those. All defensive teams. I'm hoping all rookie teams are us. We'll have to see who gets left off of that. And then we'll get into the playoffs. We'll get matchups. We'll get hopefully a little bit of gameplay on those with it actually being playoff time. I'll save the in-game watching and viewing and experiencing until the playoffs when it really matters. When guys are really getting gritty for it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming through on this video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.